Good morning, good morning, good morning. Chef Beulah here. I'm dropping off that hot appetizer for you for today. The Holy Spirit was speaking to me this morning, and He wants me to let you know that you're here for a reason. You're here for a reason, and He wants you to know that you were created to create. So, I need you to just really, really listen to me, okay? The Creator created you to create. The Creator created you to create. Your Heavenly Father formed you in your mother's womb. He created you. Okay? He created you. To create. If you really understand what I just said, you're going to be a force to be reckoned with, because oftentimes you may be trying to figure out, like, what's your purpose, or what's your gift, or what's your reason why. You were created to create. The Maker of heaven and earth created you to create. Everything that we come in contact with formed in someone's mind first. It formed in someone's mind first. This goes beyond oh my God, if you can only understand. Say for instance, anything you pick up. Say for instance, just say for instance this pen. Just say for instance this pen, or this, even say for instance say for instance this microphone. It started in someone's mind first. It started in someone's mind first. That's where it started at. So it's like He created you to create. created you to create. It started in someone's mind first. That's where it started. First, it starts with um, a thought, a vision, or however he gives you the information, however you receive the information. It starts there. It starts there. It starts in your mind first, um, the in the metaphysical realm. First, it starts there. So it's like once you really, really understand it and really, really think about that, just think about how many thoughts you process during the course of a day. Just think about how many thoughts you process during the course of a day. It's like um, oftentimes um, like with say for instance kids or young adults, or you know, we're still trying to figure out the different twists and turns in life. So so you know, we may get a little upset or a little frustrated with ourselves, and you know, trying to navigate the different things in life, and so we may get a little upset or whatever. But we with we just have to kind of stay focused. We just have to kind of stay focused and do what God is telling us to do. I would when I had my son, I would give him different things to, you know, occupy his mind. My thing was, I did not want him to go to, I didn't want to put him in, like, say for instance, preschool or whatever it was, until he was able to talk to me, until he was able to talk and let me know, you know, if he was, you know, things that was going on, you know. So I didn't put him in school until then. So, you know, by a certain age, he knew the map, and he knew different things. He could tell you the different states on the map. I mean, maybe by the time he was 2 years old. And so I would sit and I would teach him, you know, different things. And so once he started getting older, I would put him in different classes, and, you know, he would do, I signed him up for baseball, I signed him up for football, I signed him up for karate, I signed him up for swimming lessons, and I signed him up for Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, and just different things to keep his mind occupied, because he was busy. Oh, okay, you got a lot of energy, so I gotta find some way to kind of get some of that energy out. So I would sign him up for different things. I even signed him up for courses at the college. They send these little like, I guess you could call them pamphlets or whatever they call them, little pamphlets out, and and I would sign them up for the different courses that they had in the back of the pamphlet. You know, they would send the pamphlet out from the colleges. So they would say, oh, like, say, for instance, the pamphlet would say, um, maybe 4 weeks, sign your ages this to that, and you could sign up the child for different science programs that they would have, or different little programs that they have, or cooking programs, or whatever little different programs they had in the back of the pamphlet. So I would do this. So I signed them up for one of the science courses, or one of the little courses that they had in the back of the program, and it was teaching him how to make I believe it's called a trebuchet, and it's like one of the medieval devices that you use, to fight. And you put, say for instance, you put like your um, maybe he would put, like, say for instance, a rock or whatever it is, and you pull it back, and then it launches over to the other side, and and um, and it was on wheels. So they would teach him to make little different things like that, but it was so interesting to him, and he loved doing stuff like this. And when he was in Cub Scouts, they taught him how to make the soapbox cars. They did like a soapbox race, and they make these little cars, and they went camping, and they went and just different things, but it kept his mind occupied, and some of the things he actually liked doing, and some of them he didn't too much care for. He didn't like baseball. He didn't like, the different sports and things like that. But I signed him up, and he would, he may be in the outfield, playing in the dirt as the ball is whizzing by his head and things like this. Okay, well, maybe this isn't the sport for you. Okay, baseball, this isn't it, but I just, try to keep going until I find something that he actually likes to do, you know. So, you know, um, I would take him to the library, and spend time in the library with him, and just, so he could, kind of explore different avenues in the library, and, just his constant quest for knowledge was like it just felt like the right thing to do. So, like I said, some of the things he liked, and some of the sports he really did not care for at all. So, so it's like, with the kids, you know, you can only imagine that the things we're trying to process a lot of information, and we as adults, sometimes get overwhelmed, or have a hard time processing different thoughts and different ideas and things like that. So you can only imagine with the kids, how they're trying to navigate that space. So sometimes you might want to put them in front of in a situation where you can just lay out an old blanket, or use some plastic and a blanket on top, and just give them some crayons and some paint, or set up an area where you don't mind it getting a little messy. Give them some crayons, and give them a sketchbook, and give them, different things. I saw one young lady. She was making paintings, beautiful paintings, and she would use, like, say for instance, different shapes. She would use sponges in the bottom of her shoe, or just random stuff that she would pick up, and she would make such beautiful paintings. You couldn't see her vision until she made it plain. You couldn't see her vision. You couldn't see what was in her mind until she made it plain. She would make such beautiful she makes such beautiful paintings out of, you know, you know, just what seemed like random stuff. She would take it and she, throw it up against the canvas. She would throw a sponge up against the canvas and different different things that she would just pick up and just kind of randomly put it up there, or she would place it up there and, you know, dip it in the paint and place it up there. And then, but by the time she was finished, it was such a beautiful painting. It could be a lion or a bear or a bird but it was so beautiful, and it all, it was all in her imagination. It was all in her vision. So give the kids a space to create. Give them a space to create. Give them a space to create. It's I mean, maybe they like music. Maybe they like maybe sign them up for a music class. Maybe give them some a drum set or guitar, or it's something they're gonna find something that they really like to do. It's gonna be something that they really like to do. They might like to draw, they might like to write, they might like to read. It's gonna be something that they really like to do. Just keep kind of guiding them in the direction that, and that's something, that they like to do. They might like to bake. They might like to be in the kitchen with you. They might like to, learn what it is that you're doing. Help shape their future. It's like the the kids. I have two grandkids, and they I kind of go to the Michaels and pick up different items, and I'm like, okay, oh, it may be. I saw my granddaughter. She was making these little shoes, and she was making the shoes out of cardboard, and cardboard and tape and cotton balls, and I was like, oh, okay, so all right, so maybe you want to make shoes. Maybe you want to be design shoes. So go to Michael's and pick up different, things to make shoes. So by the time she's finished, she made a pair of moccasins. So it's like, go to the hobbies, go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby and pick up some yarn, and you know, and the needles that go with it, and try to teach her how to knit, her and my grandson, and try to teach them how to knit. Maybe this is something that you want to do. Maybe this is something that you want to do. And I explained it, and they get a little frustrated with me, and vice versa, and because it's like, okay, well, sweetie, if I can't show you, if I can't show you, say for instance, the right way, I'm gonna try to find somebody. I explained to them. I said, well, if Grandma can't show you the exact way it's supposed to be done, the exact way it's supposed to be done. I said, I'm going to try to find somebody that can help you do it. You know, and they get a little frustrated. No, Grandma, we want you to do it. We want you to do it. Okay, well, I want you to learn the right way. Okay, because I want to make sure that you don't go out here, you know, and that you're not equipped for the things that, you know, when you're faced with this challenge. I want to make sure that you know, I'm going to try to make sure that you are properly equipped with the things that you need. So I want to make sure that you learn the right way. So I said, well, maybe they have, like, say for instance, a course at the library or something, or maybe, you know, I said some little old grandma can show you at the, you know, what is it, like the nursing home or whatever, and they can show you, because I'm pretty sure some of them know how to knit. Some of them know how to make the wool blanket or the blanket or whatever. Some of them know, because we can get to the first row. We get the first row, that's fine. But once we start getting to the next row, that's when it starts getting a little bit more challenging, you know. So I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. So it's just different things that different positive things that you can be teaching them, and you know, and they are willing to learn, because it's like they are sponges, and they're soaking up, you know, what are you pouring out for them to soak up? Because whether whether they're learning, they are learning from what you're pouring out. They're learning from what you're pouring out. They are learning from what you're pouring out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're learning from what you're pouring out. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You never know. You never know what what which one of those things that you're teaching them that's gonna take hold. That's gonna, you know, kind of be their thing. You know, they're gonna be like, oh, I really like this. You know, I like this. Yeah. So it's okay for them to create. Let them create, because God created all of us. The Creator created us to create. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. So continue, peace and blessings.